Jamie Stegmeyer. I'm here with Stonemeyer Games to play Game 50, Round 2. Just like yesterday, I am playing along with fan-created realms here. And I'm over here studying them in advance on my other screen here because the John Company text is very small. And I don't know, honestly, how you're going to read it from the printout. But I have it big on my computer screen here. I would actually recommend that you pull it up on your computer screen if you have that option. So we're going to play with three realms here. Merchants of the Dark Road, designed by Jeff Putnam. Speckled Eggs. I love that Mark Espiridian designed a realm based on speckled eggs. Speckled eggs that we make for Wingspan. I feel like I'm shouting here. And John Company, a game that I haven't played. John Company from George Orbistenu. I'm sorry, George, I don't say your name out loud very often, but I see you all the time, and we've corresponded. I hope you're doing well. Thank you to these designers for designing these realms. Let me know if you're playing along live today for these fan-created realms. So let's go over what we're looking at here. Merchants of the Dark Road. I see Chad joining me here. At the end of every turn here, I'll hold this up and use my other screen so I can read it. So, Merchants of the Dark Road. At the end of every turn, move your wagon 0, 1, or 2 spaces clockwise. And if you forget, don't move. I kind of like that inclusion. If you forget, you missed it. Hey, Mark and Julie, thanks for joining in for this. So Merchants of the Dark Road. Move your wagon 0, 1, or 2 spaces clockwise. If you forget, don't move. Circle your new location and erase the previous location. Okay? So this is going to be a little tough without a dry erase marker, but we'll find a way to do it. Use a die to receive the benefit shown at your current location. Okay, makes sense. So on any given turn, there'll be one location that you can't choose, and you can choose from the other two locations. Here's George, the designer of John Company. George, we might have some questions here in a second. Speckled Eggs. Okay, Speckled Eggs. This is the one designed by Mark, who is here in the comments. If you want to compliment him on this design, same with George. Speckled Eggs. Use any number to shade one egg shape outside the spots to gain the benefits, or shade that number of spots on any combination of eggs. Okay, I love that. So once the egg is shaded for spots, it cannot be shaded for egg shape and vice versa. So you're either shading the egg itself or you're shading the spots on the eggs. Gain the benefits. Okay, so if you shade, I see. So like on this first egg here, if I shade the egg itself, I'm shading over the heart, and so that's when I'm gaining the heart. Or say I rolled a 3, I could fill in this circle and this circle and then this circle over here, one of the speckles themselves. Score 1 star for each pair of egg shaded and spots shaded eggs. You're kind of looking for a mix of the two. Some eggs that are egg shaded and some that are spot shaded. I like that. All right, George, let me read through yours. See, designer Matt is joining us as well today. So George's John Company realm. I'm going to read this out in its entirety because the text is very small in here. It says, mark a number in a region and use it in A, B, or C accordingly. A, B, or C accordingly. Okay, I see. So the regions are the hexes. There we go. And George says, the most important thing to remember about the realm is to start from a 1 or 2 region. So you would either need to have rolled a 1 or 2 and use it for the fully outlined 1 or 2 regions, or create a 1 or 2. George says I'm reading the old one. Well, George, this is the one that I have right here. Let's see. Yeah, this is the most recent download that I have. Let me see if I have a different one online. I'll look it up online real quick. This is the one that I downloaded just the other day. So I'm looking. Here we go. I'll have it in a second. Oh, yeah, it has changed. So it is different than the one that I printed here. Okay, but the link is correct. I will just download this and look at it. Okay. Oh, there's even more text, George. This is too much, George. You got to limit yourself to like 4 lines, maybe 5 at most. Okay. So yeah, I don't even have the correct version, but I think I can modify mine to print it off to have the correct version. They look pretty similar. I'll have to modify it a little bit, but yeah, if you look online, you can see how they look. Okay, so What it says is numbers 1 and 2 are considered successes. Start from those regions. The fully outlined regions cannot be marked using coins, while for the dashed outline regions, normal rules apply. Each further number must be adjacent to a marked 1 or 2 region. For A, when you're marking the first 1 or 2 region, outline the leftmost number. Choose one and follow that row's order sequence for the next region marking. B, each number marked has bottom costs and top benefits. Outline C with the required region number to receive a bonus at the beginning of the indicated turns. Okay. I'll have to learn that one as I go, I think. Let's jump right in and give this a try. I'm going to point the camera down and we will play some Rolling Realms. Thanks again to these designers for designing these fan realms. Let's try them out. All right, a 1 and a 2 on the first roll. 1 and a 2. So let's say if I can get a coin from the first turn so I can use all of the realms. So I'll use a coin and speckled eggs. Here's a nice egg right here that has 2 coins in it. And which area, what do I want to do in Merchants of the Dark Road? Move, so I have a start place for the wagon. And I need to circle the location that I moved to and then use the resource there. So one of them costs resources. One lets me gain resources. I like the sound of that. So why don't I do this one? I'll move to the second circle and I'll use a 2 to gain 2 pumpkins. Do I have to cross it off? No. Okay, good. And then I'll use the 1 over in speckled egg. So I will color in this egg here. So not the speckle, but the egg itself. And I get 2 coins. And, okay, George is here to help out if we need help with John Company. So I now have, say, a 1 value die. Let's see how I can use this. 1s and 2s are considered successes. Okay, that's good. Start from those regions. So I have a 1 value die. I want to start from a 1 region. Okay? I have to modify mine a little bit. So here's a 1 region. The fully outlined regions cannot be marked using coin. Oh, well, I have a coin here. While for the dashed outline regions, normal rules apply. Okay, so I cannot use a coin over there. So I haven't actually used that coin. Is that right, George? So you can't create a 1, for example, to use. Although I guess I could have used the 1. Here, let's just say I used. No, I can't do that. I can't do that in that order. I can do it in a different order. It doesn't really matter for what I did this turn. So I will use a normal 1, not a created 1. He says you have 1 region of 1, 2, which is dashed. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so I could start from that one. But I'm going to start from the one that isn't dashed up here. Okay. When marking the first region, okay, so I'm going to mark that first region. I'm going the pink one in the upper right. Outline the leftmost number in that region. So George, yeah, I'm going to need some help here. So I've used a 1 to cross off this hex. I've marked that region. What do I do next? It says outline the leftmost number. Is that any leftmost number or a particular one? He says now go in A. Okay. Outline the leftmost number, choose 1, and follow that row's order sequence for the next region marking. So I'll mark off the 1 over here in John Company. And follow that row's order sequence for the next region marking. But I don't do that now, right? I wait till the next turn to do that? Let me know. I'm going to keep rolling, and you can let me know how to do that. Turn 2. A 2 and a 5. 2 and a 5. Okay. So two and a 5. So George, for example, do I have a 2 now that I can use from John Company, or am I trying to get a 2? Yeah, I'm sorry, George. I'm struggling to understand it. But a 2 and a 5, I can use it in the other realms. 2 and a 5. I'd still want more resources here early on. So I can't resist the allure of some of these eggs that have multiple. Although they are the easier eggs to complete too. I guess that's the balance that Mark created here. So I can get 2 hearts. But if I get that, then I'll miss out on an easy 1 dot. Let's see what I can do in the Great Bazaar. So at the dark market, I can circle any good at the bazaar. So if I circle one of them, cost me a resource. And at the Great Bazaar, I can also circle a resource. And is it once I've once I've completed those, I can get a star. But up in the Great Bazaar, it's free, it appears, and down here it isn't free. So I'll go up to the free one. That just seems better. And the end seems very easy to get stars. Maybe I'm misreading that. But I can move 0, 1, or 2 spaces. I will move 2 spaces over to start. So I'll just have to remember that I'm going to start now. And I will circle I have a 5, so I'll use a 5 here for this gun. And that will get me a star. That was the 5. The 2 I'll use in the speckled eggs to get 2 hearts. And then let's return to my nemesis, John Company. Let's see. Okay, George says, now with that 2, you can mark the 2 fully outlined and get the next star in A because it follows your already outlined 1. So I have a 2 here, so I'll cross off this 2. I just have it. I don't need to use a 2 value die. I just have a 2. Or do I need to get a 2 and use it there, George? So let's just say that I have a 2. I don't really know what to do with it, though. I'm sorry, George. I am struggling a bit with John Company here. I might have to look past it a little bit while we're playing here. But keep talking to me. I'll do my best. So Julie says, I see the part about unlocking adjacent hexes. If I marked the 1 already, can I do the 2? And George says, no, I mean if you would have used that 2 from the die. Okay, so I need to actually use the 2 value die. All right, turn 3. A pair of 3s. A pair of 3s. I think I'll keep getting maybe the resource benefits from the speckled eggs so far. That is a low number too. I want to use high numbers to cross off the speckles in speckled eggs. So let's go with this one to get 2 pumpkins. And then so that's a 3. I know that I have another 3 to use over in Merchants of the Dark Road. Kind of like the idea of getting 2 hearts. That seems good. So yeah, I will shift over here. I'll just remember that I'm in the ruins right now. And so I'll get 2 hearts from the ruins with that 3. And now I could create another 3 and use it in John Company if I could figure out how to use it. But I think I need a 2 next in John Company. So I don't have that. I don't have a 2 to use. Although maybe I can try B. Each number marked has bottom cost and top benefits. So George, how do I mark something over there in 3? Do I have to move from adjacent regions? Well, for the dash outline regions. So maybe I can just here. I will assume that no. I need to. It has to be adjacent. I see that it has to be adjacent. So I'm not adjacent to it. So I can't do anything in John Company. All right, turn 4. A 6 and a 2. 6 and a 2. I love the 6 in speckled eggs. That seems great in speckled eggs. So I will fill in a bunch of speckles on this egg and this egg over here. And I think I want a 2 in John Company, so maybe I'll experiment with that. So I want a 2. I will cross off this 2 here. And do I get to cross off anything else? Well, marking the outline the leftmost. Okay, and follow that row's order sequence for the next region marking. So I marked off this 2, so I get to then mark off another 2. Let's say it's It's this one down here. All right. Turn 5. Oh no, I didn't do Merchants of the Dark Road. I need to do something over there. I need to create a die. I am in the ruins right now, so I can move to any of the other 3 locations. Let's see. Let's start spending. Actually, the inn is really easy to get stars too. Yeah, I'm kind of going. I can see why you would use the dark market if you need to. But I don't really need to yet. So I'm just going to go over to the inn and spend, or I don't need to spend anything. I need to create a 1. Here's a 1. And I'll use the 1 for the easy one. Easy star over there. All right, turn 5. A 6 and a 2. 6 and a 2. So the 6, 6 again, I like in speckled eggs. I roll a 6 and a 2, last turn 2. So let's do another 2. We'll put a 2 in the Grand Bazaar up here for Merchants of the Dark Road. And then the 6, let's use that for speckled eggs again. I'll do this one. I have enough pumpkins, so I may not worry about pumpkins. Let's fill in this one over here, and I can actually do one more if I want. And I do want, let's go for the hearts. Okay, and then John Company, our old friend John Company over here, I'll use a 1 value coin to cross off this 1, and I believe that corresponds with this region. Yeah, this region right here. I don't actually think I'm supposed to cross it off because it has a bordered outline, but I'm just going to do it. Turn 6. Turn 6, a 6 and a 1. A lot of 6s helping us with speckled eggs. 6 and a 1. I'm in the Great Bazaar over on Merchants of the Dark Road. Ooh, the 6 could give me 2 coins. Let's go with that. Let's go with the 2 coins from the 6. And then the 1 in speckled eggs. Don't want to cross off speckles for that. This will be an egg turn. Let's go with this egg right here. We'll go with that one. Go with that egg. Okay. And now I could create a 1 to use over here. Actually, it looks like I want a 2 in John Company. Okay, George says, now I can use any other numbers in the realm. I've unlocked all success regions, so you might have adjacency availability. Yeah, I just don't have the numbers for it yet. And to get these stars, it looks like I need to keep crossing off numbers to pair these 2 together. So I'll just create a 1 or 2 value die and use that to cross it off and get a star. All right, turn 7. A 6 and a 1. We keep having repeats here. 6 and 2, 6 and 2, then 6 and 1, 6 and 1. 6s, as we know, are good for the speckled eggs. I also have one that's adjacent to John Company. I'm currently in the ruins for Merchants of the Dark Road. So, speckles. Should we do a few more speckles? Total of 12 eggs. So I need to do... How many more speckles do I need? I need to do 3 more speckles. So that's actually a little overkill. Why don't I do a 6 down here? I'll do a 6 right here to gain another star. Merchants of the Dark Road. And then the 1 I will use for another coin over here. In this egg. I think these eggs would be very satisfying to fill in if I had the normal marker that I usually use. Oh, George says I'm actually done with A. I don't have to do the rows in that order. I see what George is saying. Okay, so I've actually already earned 3 stars from A. He says only one of those rows is enough if you follow one of them. Okay, thank you, George. I'm looking at C here. C says with the required region number to receive a bonus at the beginning of indicated turns. Oh, I see. Kind of like in Terra Mystica. That's cool. Okay, turn 8. Another 3 and 3. This is a surreal round so far. Here's what we're looking at with the numbers that I've rolled so far. 3 and a 3. So I was in the inn. I probably need to go to the Great Bazaar to get some stars. I'm running out of time here. I might need to use 2 pumpkins to catch up a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to use, well, let me wait for a second. 3 One of those threes will go. I needed actually 3 for the speckled eggs, so 3 will go there, and I'll probably need those pumpkins now. Go down here and go down there. So I just need any other number to finish speckled eggs. And the other 3. So I'm going to copy the 3 and use 3 pumpkins to use Merchants of the Dark Road again. And go 1, 2, 3 down to the inn to get this star with that 3. Could have been a 4 as well. And that means on my last turn I can get 1 more star as long as I have a 1, 2, 3, or 4. All right, final turn here. A pair of 1s that barely felt like a roll there. Okay, a pair of 1s. That's good enough for Merchants of the Dark Road. That's one of them. For speckled eggs, the number doesn't matter for the egg, so I actually get all 6 stars from that. And then the 1 for John Company, I actually don't think I can do much with the 1 in John Company right now. I need a higher number. So I think I'm dead with John Company, but I still got 3 stars from it. So my final score is, what do we have here? 14. Here we go, 14. Let me know in the comments how you did. Let me point the camera up a little bit so I can talk about these realms. Again, thank you so much to Jeff, Mark, and George for designing these realms. I know it takes a lot of time and effort, a lot of tweaking. Even George mentioned he had worked on the wording again in this realm. It takes a lot of time and effort, and I really do appreciate that. So let's talk about them. Merchants of the Dark Road. Thematically, I think it works pretty well. I've played Merchants of the Dark Road. You do move around in a little bit of a rondelle like this. I guess what it's really telling you is choose a different location than the previous location. You don't even necessarily need to go around, but it can be explained equally easily with the two options. Is there anything that I'd tweak about it? So it did feel like I never really wanted to use the Dark Market because I could easily go up here to the Great Bazaar and not spend a resource there. I'm not exactly sure what benefit was added by having that there. It seemed a little redundant. So I might make this a little bit more powerful and have it maybe circle. So here's what I might do is mix up these icons, add another icon down here. So each of these, there's 2 for each, and they're mixed up icons. And down in the Dark Market, say, cross off all goods of the same type in the Great Bazaar. That would feel pretty good. If you're spending a resource, that way you get to circle 2 different goods, but neither of them by themselves finish off one of the rows. I think that would be my one little tweak for that. Speckled Eggs was awesome. It was intuitive. It was easy to play. It was fun to play. It was unique in terms of filling in which choice you want to fill in. I would say that some of the choices felt a little obvious because there were certain eggs that had more resources. I like the balance mark that you incorporated here. But obviously I wanted to fill in one with 2 coins and 2 hearts, 2 pumpkins, even though there was only 1 little pip there, because I figured I would have enough time to fill in more pips later. So I'm wondering if there's any way to make it. Well, here's the thing. I was going to say I wonder if there's a way to make it a little harder. But I think it's actually good to have some realms that are just a little lighter and a little bit easier. I think they pair well with some of the harder realms sometimes. So I don't know if I'd change anything about Speckled Eggs, Mark. I think you did a fantastic job with that. But of course, if anyone has feedback for Mark, feel free to mention it in the comments. And then finally, John Company. So George, I as you could tell, I struggled a little bit with this. And part of it, I think, might be that I haven't played the game. I think if I played John Company, I might understand a little bit more. I understand that there's a lot going on in the game, in John Company, the game, and some push your luck. I would maybe try to distill it down a little bit. Distill it down, force yourself to get down to 3 lines of text. And if you can't do it within 3 lines of text that is this size or this size, then cut even more until you get down to that amount of text. So yeah, that's one thought there for John Company. Just a little design goal there to try out, George. Julie says, assuming I played it right, I used the Dark Market a few times because of the 2-space movement limit. If I was on the ruins, 1, 2. Oh, I see, Julie. You're right. Okay, I was moving once too far. Julie, you're totally right. I was thinking 2 movements. I was thinking like 0, 1, 2, but that's not right. This is 0, 1, 2. Julie, you're totally right. Sometimes you can be positioned on merchants so that you can't get up there. So yeah, maybe there is no change needed there, Jeff. I totally missed that. That's definitely my fault in the way I played it. Julie says that she liked that wagon element a lot. Yeah, all three cleverly designed realms here. Again, thank you to Jeff, Mark, and George for doing this. Thank you to everyone who joined in for the live play currently and also in the future. And I look forward to seeing what comes of these realms. Feel free to post how they evolve in the future if you decide to revisit them and revise them. On day three, we're going to be looking at Draftosaurus, Grand Austria Hotel, and number 9. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'll see you around this time tomorrow. Have a good night or good day, good afternoon. Take care. Bye.